On behalf of North Carolina Baptist men, I'd like to thank you for praying, giving, and going. Thank you, volunteers, for being the hands of Christ to hurting people after disasters. Disaster relief is one of 14 different ministries of North Carolina Baptist men. Thousands of men, women, and students are involved in these ministries every year. If you want to get involved in disaster relief, there's something for everyone, from cooking to chainsaws, from cleanouts to chaplaincy, childcare, and more. When Hurricane Sandy struck New Jersey and New York, we responded by sending all 3 of our large feeding units. We also sent shower, laundry, generator, and recovery units, and God has been using our volunteers and equipment in a great way. Since Sandy hit, we've been able to provide over 600,000 meals, over 10,000 volunteer days of service. 600 recovery jobs have been completed so far. Thousands of showers and laundry loads have been provided, and the love of Jesus has been shared with many, many people. In many disasters, it's the feeding operation that opens the doors for other ministries. That has been the case with Hurricane Sandy as well. The mass feeding effort has just been completed, and now we're moving into the recovery stage. So teams of volunteers will be needed for the next year as we help families restore and rebuild their lives. For many people in New York and New Jersey, this is their first encounter with Baptist. But because of the volunteers, doors are opening for local churches. And those local churches and our volunteers are able to communicate not only relief from the storm, but they're able to communicate the release that those same people can have through Christ, who's our Savior. Thank you for praying, giving, and going.
North Carolina Baptist men are involved in disaster relief because we are a people that like to serve. We're a people that like to help. And where there's a need, you can find North Carolina Baptist men and women there. It's a ministry. I feel like that there are many, many people that are told about Jesus and brought to salvation because of North Carolina Baptist men. It's good to clean out a home, but unless we share the love of Jesus, we failed in our mission. Hurricane Sandy decided to come up the coast, hitting New Jersey and New York very hard. And we're just doing as we have always done when the storms hit. We try to go, we try to minister to those people that have been hurting, try to be the hands and feet of Jesus to minister to them as best we can.
This storm was one in 100 years for New Jersey. This was a super storm. New Jersey hadn't seen anything like it in a long, long, long time.
My house was like a bathtub for about 5 hours.
Houses were washed off of their foundations. Some folks are still trying to find their boats. It was that kind of a storm.
The storm came in from the south. As that water came in from the ocean, it was so powerful and so much of it, it just kept rising the bay, and so it went all the way, right into the house and 4 feet up the walls.
We're here 30 years and not a drop has ever entered our home. Looking at what we are going through and our neighbors, it's devastated so many people.
It's kind of unreal. First the scenario that this has happened, and then along comes this group of volunteers from someplace down south, and I don't know what to say. It's like, it's overwhelming, really. It's unbelievable. It certainly is appreciated because to go out and hire contractors to do this would be a financial disaster. I can't imagine what it would cost me. I can't even think about it.
We love our home and we want to come back here. So that's what keeps me going and what is keeping me going, to think that we can rebuild and spend our remaining years here, hopefully.
Certainly appreciate everything that's been done, and the folks have been absolutely wonderful. It's almost like I've known them for months and months now, and here we are, one day into the situation, and you know, it's just mind-boggling. You know, it's really hard to take in one little swoop, and it'll be on my mind for a long, long time, that's for sure.
Come see us where our church is right here anytime you need something, okay?
We're on the Lower East Side of Manhattan on 7th Street between B and C. And of course the water came from the East River and came Avenue D, Avenue C, all the way past Avenue B. So this whole neighborhood got completely drowned, literally. We don't know how to help people affected by flood. We've never had that in Manhattan. But because of the experience of North Carolina Baptist coming and just helping us to do that for neighbors, it's been a great ministry. It really has been.
We're at East 7th Baptist Church, commonly called Graffiti. We were scheduled to go to New Jersey, but Pastor Taylor Field called and asked if we would come here. They had flooding in the basement, so we came here instead to help them, and then we just started helping the neighborhood. That was 2 weeks ago, and we've been doing work here just in the neighborhood. I was walking up Avenue C, and this lady stopped me.
Something about Gary, he was just so calm and seemed very trustworthy.
And I said, we're helping residents clean out.
4 feet of water just poured through my house.
She got an estimate that morning, $4,000 to remove the flooring.
Water had gone down, but everything was destroyed.
And she said, would you be willing to take the flooring out of my house? Do you do that? And I said, sure.
About 7 people showed up.
Cleaned everything out yesterday, sanitized it.
Cleaned my whole house of the mold and the mildew.
We're hoping to get a team to come back and put the sheetrock back in and the hardwood flooring for her.
This was the nicest group of people I think I've ever met. Yeah, really.
I told her it was because we love Jesus Christ, and we just wanted to help people in His name.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I know that God's hand is in this, and I'm trying to just take it in. It's a little overwhelming.
We need a lot of younger people to catch the spirit of volunteering and catch the spirit of helping people and commit themselves to do this kind of work. So we need a lot of volunteers. We need people to give. It takes a lot to operate this organization, especially once we go into recovery like this. So we need people to give, to pray, and to come.
And you don't have to buy any green board.
New Yorkers are really pretty friendly. We're not what you think. Yeah, come. We welcome you. Totally. And we need you right now.
You know, for 20 plus years, we've had a partnership with North Carolina. We know whenever there's a need, we can reach out to North Carolina Baptist and they would be here for us. So really it's just as simple as we're in need. I think you guys probably called us before we called you to say, do you need us? And of course we do, and of course we're so grateful, and we thank you for being our partners. And we see God doing a great healing work because of that partnership, so we thank you so much.